We're back with episode 32. Dulce Tormenta, how are you?
Hi.
Welcome to this podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. I'm doing great. Excited to be here. And I don't know, we'll see what this podcast
absolutely excited because, I've been trying to, we've been communicating back and forth for a little while.
Yeah.
Finally narrowed down a date.
Yes.
And I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule. I know you guys a lot of cool stuff coming up.
Yes.
Which we're going to get into.
Mm-hmm.
But you taking the time to come down to the event center in front of our new set, if you will.
Yeah, I like the setup. It's really, really cool.
We like I mentioned to you off the air, we try to change it up a little bit. We've done it where our coaches and myself will do 3 across. We've done it with a chair and a couch kind of thing and just different things. But I really like this just because the backdrop is really cool.
It's very raw. It's very like the arena. We got people skating back here and it looks really nice. I really like it.
Well, enough about the podcast per se. Let's talk a little bit about you. Born and raised El Paso. Tell us a little about yourself.
Yes, born and raised in El Paso. I come from a family of 5 brothers in total. I have 4 brothers in total. I have 3 older ones. And then it's me. And then the younger brother, he's a wrestler as well, Dastan. And growing up, it was better for my parents economically to raise us in Ciudad Juárez. So I actually lived in Ciudad Juárez for, I want to say until I was like 3 or 4 years old, maybe 5. I lived the life of, I lived in Juárez, but I would come to school here.
Right.
My parents, they would wake us up like 3, 4 in the morning. We would she would dress us, get us ready for school, get in the car, cross the bridge, and come to school over here. So that was really my childhood.
And obviously that takes a lot of discipline.
Yeah.
Not just, your parents, obviously, but your siblings and yourself. Because I can't imagine being in middle school or even high school, getting up at 3, 4 in the morning, getting ready, coming to school to be on time. And then by the time you get home, it's probably 5, 6 p.m.
Yeah.
And you're just exhausted.
Exactly. And at the time, my dad was the only provider for the home, and my mom was a stay-at-home mom. Mm-hmm. So we only had 1 car. So when school was over, my mom would pick us all up. We would meet at a certain area. My brother's school bus, because he was going to middle school at the time. I was in elementary. Mm-hmm. Alta Vista. I think it's closed down now. Alta Vista. And we would take the bus to the bridge, cross over the bridge, and then my dad would be waiting for us on the other side.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a discipline.
Yes.
And it kind of leads into your profession.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume having a huge amount of discipline in your field is a huge part of it.
Yes, of course. And you know what? I didn't live my whole childhood in Ciudad Juárez. Unfortunately, right. We did live through an incident. Somebody broke into our home in Ciudad Juárez, and it cost us, a lot. And my father, at the time, I'm going to speak about it a little bit. At the time, my father, somebody broke in. It was at 5 in the morning. I think my mom was awake. She was feeding my baby brother. At the time, he was a baby, a newborn. And we found out somebody had broken in. My dad chased after him. Long story short, my dad runs after him. He tries to jump to another building. My father follows. He falls all the way to the ground, maybe 2-3 feet down. He breaks both of his legs.
Oh, my God.
So can you imagine, my father going through that as the only provider, my mom's stay-at-home mom, the struggle that we had to go through. So that's the reason. That's when we made officially the transition over to El Paso, and we lived over on this side. And so I was able to go through elementary, middle school, and high school, a full-time student over here in El Paso. And so that's where I really learned my full English, full, nice, professional English.
Right on. Well, you speak really good English, obviously.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, that's an incredible story, and just to, we could talk about this for days.
Yeah.
But obviously we won't get into it. But it's fortunately your father was okay.
Yes, he is.
But it's crappy that it kind of happened.
Yeah, exactly. And so now that in this profession that I am, and as an international,
I wouldn't break into your house now.
Yeah, I know. And as the international wrestler that I am now, and I transitioned between traveling through Mexico and the United States, well, I wish I could have gone back to my childhood and learned a little bit more about the lifestyle in Mexico, because I stayed in El Paso for such a long time. When I started to travel in Mexico, I didn't know how to use pesos, or I didn't, or I didn't know certain things, and so those are the things where I was like, damn, I wish I would have, my dad would have taught me that, you know, or stuff like that.
Honestly, it's the little things, right?
Yeah,
you just
exactly.
take for granted kind of thing. And I think everybody goes through a stage where, shoot, man, I wish I could have figured that out.
Yeah, and so I don't know what's expensive, what's not expensive. In Mexico, it's like 1,000 pesos or...
You assume when you hear 1,000 pesos, oh, God.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't afford that.
Yeah, exactly. And so I have a lot of friends who live in Mexico City, and when they come to the States and I run into them at a show or something, they make fun of me. They call me gringa because I don't have that same I'm
going to call you gringa. Thank you for letting me know. What's up, gringa?
Yeah, exactly. But I'm like, I'm trying to learn, guys. Be patient.
But you're absolutely, you hear 1,000 pesos.
Yeah.
And you assume that's a lot of money. Not to say it's not, but you would assume you take it for what it's worth. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you got involved with wrestling since you were young.
Yes.
We talked a little bit. You did wrestling in high school.
Yes, I did.
And then from high school, you started what you're doing now.
Yes. So I went to Burgess High School, and as a freshman and a sophomore, I was a volleyball player. But I know this gets really weird because
don't you have to be tall for volleyball?
I think I'm kind of tall. Here in El Paso.
Coming from me, I'm 6 foot, right? Yeah, exactly.
I know. I think I'm taller than you, actually.
Almost, maybe.
So
I'm only teasing.
I did volleyball, but at the time it was very favoritism. It was very, you know how parents can get with their child being a starter and stuff like that. And so since my parents, they have never been like that. They never really donated money to the team, or they didn't really, went that extra mile for the team. I was a bench warmer, and at the time it made me really sad because I knew I was capable of playing. Yeah. And I started as a starter. I was an all-around player, but then as the season progressed, I started to be bench warmer, and it sucked.
Politics are terrible.
Exactly,
and it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
And anyway,
and I obviously would mess with my head, and I would be very sad, and I wouldn't even want to show up to practice because it just made me really sad. It's the sport that I loved at the time. So then my father, he goes, hey, Dulce, why don't you just quit the team and join wrestling? You're going to have a lot of fun. Trust me. No, Dad. I was like, wrestling is for boys. I don't want to join. He's like, just do it. Just do it. Give it a try. If you don't like it, then try another sport. And I've always been a sports girl. Sure. All my life. I've loved to exercise, do sports, be an athlete. And so I joined wrestling. Again, I had no knowledge of it. I went to maybe a week of practice. Then I was on the tournament the following weekend. I show up and I got my butt kicked.
Right.
So bad. And I was embarrassed because smaller girls, they were kicking my butt. And I was like, how is this possible? This is not going to happen again. Right. My family came out to see me. I felt embarrassed. And I was like, this is not happening again. So I would go to practice and I would get better. And each time I would get better. And each tournament I would get better. Well, I ended up being a medalist for district, for regionals, for state. Yes. And I turned out to be this great wrestler for the school of Burgess High School. Yeah.
Well, congratulations with that. And
Thank
again,
you.
the perseverance and obviously the dedication and discipline.
Yeah.
Back to your younger days.
Mm-hmm.
But living with 4 brothers probably doesn't hurt the case.
Obviously, they had a huge impact of my success.
I'm sure they, let's toss around Dulce a little bit today.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I'm sure that's happened a couple of times.
Yeah, it has. And they would teach me stuff in wrestling
sure.
and even, now in lucha libre, and even since I was a little girl, I've always wanted to be just like them. And so I blame them for me being a luchadora in today's world.
So speaking of that, so you made your transition from high school. Then in 2015, is when you made your lucha.
Yes, so I
debut
I graduated high school, and as I graduated high school, I had college offers for wrestling. But at the time, I was very indecisive. I didn't know if I wanted to leave or stay. I've never been so far away from my family, so I said, you know what, I'm just gonna be a luchadora, and I'm gonna give it a try, like 100%. And so it was very easy for me to transition from high school wrestling to lucha libre because I was more in control of my body, and everything that you learn in wrestling definitely helped me as a luchadora. And so I went to training. My brothers trained me. My oldest brother, Omar, at the time, he was Triton. He was my main coach, my main trainer. It sucked training with him just because he's my brother. I hated it. I would go home, complain to my mom. It's because it's him, Mom. He's so hard on me, X, Y, and Z. And it was always problems. But at the end of the day, they made me who I am today. And so I'm very happy. And I adore them. I adore my brothers.
That's
so
awesome. And that, that's one thing I admire too is the Mexican heritage.
Yeah.
We deal with it a little bit in hockey too. We get some players from Mexico City that come up and play with us, and their biggest struggle is leaving their family.
Yep.
And I think that is so cool because in Canada, like I've been away from home since I've been 17 and I haven't been back. You know what I mean? I go back and visit, but it's just when I came to El Paso, everyone's like hugs.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you? Give you a hug.
Yeah.
I'll call you right now.
Yeah.
Well, to me, like, dude, why are you hugging my girlfriend, dude?
Exactly.
And like, if you're gonna call me, you say right now. But right now is like tomorrow.
Yeah.
It took me so a while to figure that out, but I just love that culture.
The culture.
And I think it's so cool. So obviously you made the right decision.
Yeah.
Not leaving home because when we talked a little bit off air, we talked about your family, and I just think it's really, really cool.
Yeah, and so my brothers have been my biggest supporters. Unfortunately, for example, my mom passed away 2 years ago.
Sorry to hear that.
And when she passed away, obviously I was the only girl in the family. So I was very sad, very depressed.
Mm-hmm.
I had no place to stay, no place to live. And so my brother, who's here right now, Andres, he's the one that helped me out and supported me, has supported me from the start, the most out of everyone. And so wherever I go, they go. And I don't care who it is or wherever I am, they're always there with me, and they will always be there for me.
That's, when you called me when you were arriving here at the arena, I was just like, I told you this. I'm like, man, I really hope she's wearing her mask. Because this will be awesome. And I would assumed you would.
Yeah.
And then, I see the two gentlemen. Okay, she's with her entourage type thing, just because, right? I would assume.
Uh-huh.
And to learn that it's your brothers,
uh-huh.
and that now that you just say what she's, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's just so normal for me to introduce myself, and these are my brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're always
super nice dudes too.
Yeah, they're great. They're awesome. Look at them.
They're I think they want to sign up for hockey. You know what I mean? Are you going to the UTEP game tonight? Is that why you were rocking the orange? Attaboy. Yeah. One of the 35. Hey, if you see the coach for Utah, make sure you smack him around a bit. Did you hear that stuff that they were talking about, that he was saying on the news yesterday? Search it. You'll be like, because he's like, oh man, I hear El Paso is such a beautiful place. It's a destination place. I'm gonna, get my lawn chair and go park by the Rio Grande and just stare at water, just taking shots left and right. Really? I'm just like, dude, you're a clown, man. I hope you get pounded. I want to say something
by the
else,
Rio
but
Grande from everyone.
So if you see him, just give him a smack, man.
Yeah. He's an alumni.
Are you?
Yeah, he's an alumni.
Nice.
For the social worker program.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
That's a never-ending career, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Like the background that goes with that, with what you deal with. Yeah. That's never going to end, man. And it's sad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're shifting gears here now. Now we're going to cry a little bit.
Yeah.
Just take the mood out of the... So...
Talk to me.
AEW, you were...
Yes, AEW.
Is that... What is your highlight of your career so far?
The highlight of my career?
Because you're not done yet.
No, I'm not done yet. As of
you're young still.
Yeah, as of right now, I'm a free agent. But I have stepped foot on a AEW ring. I have wrestled for AAA. I have wrestled for the Crash Lucha Libre in Tijuana. And I have wrestled for...
I got a story about Tijuana, but I can't
GCW.
tell you.
Oh, I know. A lot of crazy stuff happens in Tijuana. A lot of crazy stuff happens there.
Yeah.
And I wrestled for GCW, and I wrestled for mostly the top independent wrestling promotions you can think of in the United States.
So as an independent or whatever, unsigned per se, what you just said, right?
Yeah.
So you can kind of go wherever.
I can go wherever as of right now, but I do have a goal, and my goal is to be in Mexico City wrestling for CMLL, which is Consejo Mundial de Lucha Libre. I have spoken with them a few times. I have gone to some meetings. And politics, right? There is 2 promotions in Mexico, AAA and CMLL. And since I have spoken with them, they're like, well, in the meantime, while we process everything and everything gets fixed over here, you're just not please don't wrestle any AAA talent in Mexico. And I don't have a problem with that. So that's all they're asking for.
And it is such a, it can be such a political game.
Yeah, it is.
Just, we talked about that too. Like youth sports, high school sports, hockey, everywhere you go, there's politics.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Yeah, it's very stressful.
Yeah, it can be for sure. No doubt about that. Tell us a little bit, what is your craziest event or match that you've ever had?
The craziest match that I've ever had.
Like falling off the cage, eating a turnbuckle.
You know what?
Like George the Animal Steel. Remember that guy? Used to eat the turnbuckles?
Yeah.
Something like that.
So the craziest story that has happened to me right now has been on a GCW show. It was in New Jersey, and I wrestled Masha Slamovich.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
She's a great wrestler.
Nice.
Very hardcore. I love her to death. But I was a day before I was in LA. So they got me a one-way to New Jersey.
Yeah.
That's across the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as soon as I landed, first of all, it was such a heavy flight because I went through 3 time zones. So when I get there, I'm all like...
Yeah, of course.
I'm all over the place.
It's like a 7-hour flight, too.
Yeah, it is. It is 7.5, actually. And I land, I get an Uber, and I barely make it to the arena. I get ready, and I get out there, and I have a kick-ass match. So I feel like that has been yet the craziest situation because I was exhausted.
Yeah.
I was, again, behind on time because I just came from LA.
Sure.
And just like the jet lag, it really hits you. It's real. It's real. Like
oh, yeah. No, 100% it's real.
Yeah.
Traveling the country.
Yeah.
In a hopefully it was a one direct flight.
Thank God it was.
Right?
Yeah, thank God.
And then just getting off and you're jet lagged and your body's not ready to go and now you have to perform.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're kind of like the outside looking in, right? Because you're trying to make a name for yourself, but you can't bark at it because you're getting an opportunity. Yeah,
exactly. And I love GCW. They're one of the best independent shows, company, and they have great people on there. And the fact that I was on there, I wasn't going to let this opportunity slide. So I gave my 100%. I gave everything that I got, like I always do. And because of that, I got 2 more bookings in Texas. And I have one in Denver coming up in October.
Right on.
Yeah.
So speaking about events, you have something coming up here in the great
El Paso. Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So my family and I, we have a wrestling company here in El Paso, Texas, established since 2012. And we're going to have a show coming up in September 27th, which is a Friday. And I will be on the first match for everybody that is interested in going. If you've never been to a lucha show.
I've never been. I'm going.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be there. You'll be there.
I'll probably be the main event and kick some ass. You know what I mean?
Maybe you will help me kick some ass.
Maybe we can do a tag team.
Yeah, maybe we can. Yeah,
I can put a garbage bag over my head.
Whatever
plastic bag or something.
Whatever makes you feel comfortable, and we'll kick ass together.
Yeah, absolutely.
And at the end of the show, we'll raffle some tickets for the Rhinos.
Sure. Yeah, we'll definitely do some cool stuff. So, how many events or how many matches are going to be at that?
There's going to be 6 matches, I believe, and we have wrestlers from all over the world. They have been ex WWE. They are currently on AEW. They're currently on Ring of Honor. They're currently on GCW. They're just great talent.
Is it all lucha?
It is. It's 100%
Am I
lucha.
saying that right? Is it like when I say lucha is the dude's like mask, right?
Masks, yes.
That kind of defines it?
Yes, it's 100% lucha libre. I mean, we're in El Paso. What else did you want? It's the culture.
Yeah, man.
El Paso, Ciudad Juarez, a lot of
I think it's awesome.
A lot of people come from Ciudad Juarez to these shows, because we bring superstars that have never been to El Paso before, and we bring matches that people from El Paso have never seen live. And so it's very different watching lucha libre pro wrestling on TV and to actually watch it live.
I think Aaron, he would be a good lucha guy. Look at him, he's got the full beard. You know what I mean? It's just
he's got the body. For sure. Yeah.
I think he'd be good for it.
He could be a base. So we got 2 kinds of people. The people that can be base, which is the strong people that can catch everyone. So that would be kind of cool. Yeah, he'd be a base. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man.
He looks great.
So I'm going to sign you up without you knowing. And
maybe
it's going to be amateur night and you're going to be going on.
Maybe without a mask. He's good looking.
Everyone's good looking with a mask on.
Well, without a mask. Or are you trying to put a mask on him?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, well, without a mask, yeah, he's a good looking dude.
Yeah, he's okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
he's okay.
you know, it's dark over there. I can't really see. Look at him blush. You know, I never thought he'd get so red. But, anyway. But yeah, so the 27th.
Yeah, 27th.
Friday the
of September,
27th.
yes.
And is that going to be in the judging arena or is it going to be in the Coliseum?
No, it's gonna be by the Lobro at the Lobro Palace.
Lobro Palace.
It's close to the Coliseum and to the Rhinos Arena. It's more towards downtown.
Okay.
Doors open at 7 and show starts at 8.
Wonderful. 7
Yes.
o'clock doors open. 8 o'clock the matches start. First match, Miss Tormenta.
Miss Tormenta, yeah.
That'll be cool.
A lot of people call me Tormenta.
Tormenta.
Tormenta, yeah.
Am I saying I'm doing it right?
Yeah, Tormenta, yeah.
Tormenta.
You pronounce it
See,
really
I'm part
good.
Mexican.
Yeah, I know exactly.
You know
Usually people from more up north, they're like Tormenta. Tormenta.
Yeah, us white people, Tormenta.
Tormenta.
My daughter, my wife, you know, my wife's Hispanic. My daughter obviously is mixed. But listening to my daughter talk like a white person, like trying to speak Spanish, is absolutely hilarious.
Insane, yeah.
And she makes fun of me, but you know, I try.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I love the call. I worked over in Juarez for 11 years.
Oh, really?
I was on a Maquila for 11 years over there,
Maquila.
and I love the culture and I love the people.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a better set of just genuine people, man. Like I loved it,
Yeah.
and I love the culture. That's why I'm here in El Paso because you know the food,
Yeah.
the culture.
Yes.
You know, it's just
Yeah.
I can't. There's nothing better.
I've been to a lot of places, a lot of cities. Obviously, I've been to a city that I really enjoy. Like, for example, Monterrey. Monterrey is one
Never
of my
been.
favorite cities.
Mexico City is one of
Gorgeous.
mine.
Mexico City as well is another one. But you know what? I come back home and there's no place like home. There is no place. It doesn't matter if I'm in New York City, in Chicago, in Ciudad de Mexico, Monterrey.
Right.
There is no place like El Paso.
You know, we took our daughter back to school. She goes to school just outside of Chicago, and we were there for about a week. And I told my wife, I'm like, man, I cannot wait to get back to El Paso to be around our people because it's so different.
Exactly, and the weather too. It's more like chill. You know, if you're up in Chicago, it's too cold. Like I think I went to Toronto.
Yeah, that'd be cold.
Yeah, and I want to say it was warm here, but obviously super cold up there.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh my God, I would tell her from water, like, do I really have to go outside? It was freezing. I only had maybe one jacket. And I loved it, right? It's very nice up there. It was my first time in Canada, but the weather just sucked. Like, I just couldn't handle it.
Cold.
It was, completely different cold up there. Yeah.
For sure. So back to Lucha.
Yes.
Your character.
Yes.
So what are you? Are you a villain? Are you a good person?
I'm a
What are
good
you?
person.
Good.
I'm a good person. I
Good
love
gonna
being
go
good.
bad? What about your brother? He's a bad dude, eh?
I think he's a good guy. Yeah, he's a good guy.
You're a good dude?
Yes, he's wrestling Ares. Ares in September 27. Ares is a bad guy. He's one of the. He's one of the.
He's a bad dude?
Yeah, he is. He's one of the most baddest wrestlers I've ever met. He's just
Bad. Just a bad dude.
Yeah.
So you're a good like
good girl.
good girl. I want to be careful with what I say. You're gonna end up trying to throw me on the ice here.
I'm a good luchadora. I'm on the part of the good
Well,
side.
I hope you're not bad. You know what I mean? Like, you know, hopefully. I'm sure you're not bad. You're still doing it. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So are you? Who are you fighting?
I am tagging with my brother El Tirano. This is the first time that we tag since.
This is a title match, right?
No, this is not a title match. This is just a tag team match. Yes, and well, we haven't tagged since a very long time. I want to say maybe more than 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is
Are you
exciting.
gonna remember how to do it?
Is he gonna remember how to do it?
Are you?
Me? Yeah, of course. He's my brother. You know, I'm gonna have to talk to him before the show and give him some motivation and tell him that, hey, bro, we can't lose.
Well, yeah, I can, and
you know?
especially if I'm in the stands, because if he's not pulling his weight, I'm gonna just jump in.
Exactly.
You know
there
what I mean?
you go. And you know, we're a team at the end of the day, but I hate losing. I'm very competitive,
Sure.
so I'm gonna have to speak with him before the match, and we're gonna wrestle Idol Boy, who is an international wrestler from all over the globe.
Awesome.
He's a great wrestler, and we're gonna wrestle a luchadora named Sakura. She's from Ciudad Juarez.
So that'll be really cool.
Yeah, it's a good matchup.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Since it's tag, obviously there would be an opportunity for you to be against him. Correct?
Yes, yes.
So that happens, right? Like if you're stuck in the ring and he jumps in,
that
that is what it is.
Yeah, that can happen.
It doesn't have to be.
If he does tag me in to go, to go in and help him out or something, then it can happen.
So maybe he's going to be pissed off at you. Say, tag in, get you back for all
hope not.
Off after all the years you've been mean to him.
I know. I hope he doesn't do that. I hope not.
I'm sure he won't. But so September 27th, that'll be a good time.
Yeah, I think it's not too cold. It's not too warm in El Paso. It's just the right weather. It's an outdoors
nice.
event.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
So cool. That's very cool. So do you have any workshops for kids? Do you do anything like that?
No, unfortunately, we don't. We used to have a Lucha Libre school for kids and for all ages, really,
sure.
if anybody wanted to accomplish being a luchador. But, we stopped with the school. We continued doing wrestling shows. But now with, my success and my career as a free agent luchadora, independent luchadora, I was just speaking to my brothers about it. Maybe we should open a Lucha Libre school again. And because there's a lot of people that reach out to us, to me, hey, Dulce, do your brothers still train people? We want to train with who trained you, And so the bigger my name becomes, the more known it's going to be known that I trained in El Paso with my brothers. So it'd be a little.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be really cool. I feel like a lot of people would join and would enjoy
That'd be really, really cool.
Yeah.
I'd look forward to that, just to give back to the community that's been so generous to you, right? Like obviously the support throughout the years. And, I know we talked about the Hahn family. They do that. And I think you guys are kind of in the same realm.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about that, about some people in the community, right? And I just think what you're doing, what your family has done is awesome.
Yeah.
And don't quit. Keep going.
I know, but
keep going.
Sometimes it gets a little hard. Sometimes it does get a little too hard. I'm not going to lie. Just the other day, for example, 2 weeks ago, I don't want to say I rolled my ankle, but somebody landed on my ankle, which caused it to just be swelled up. I couldn't even walk. And, I don't post anything on social media because a lot of people follow me. A lot of people see, what's going on. And it's just so crazy to me that people see me as this inspiring woman luchadora, but they don't see what happens behind closed doors,
Yeah.
But it can get very, very hard emotionally, physically.
Yeah.
With any successful person, there has to be some type of haters, some type of hate. And I've learned to manage that. But let me tell you, in the beginning, that was very hard because I worried about what people thought about me, what people had to say about me. But at the end of the day, I'm successful. I'm still here.
That's
and
great.
That's really, really cool that I have all kinds of people that follow me. The haters, the people that love me, the people that support me.
But though, it's a message for the young ones that are watching. Like, you're always going to have haters. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're successful, whatever career you choose, there's always going to be jealous people.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that are haters.
Yeah.
And, the wish I coulds, the I think I cans, the ones that that are not doing it.
Exactly.
And when I grew up playing hockey, obviously you get a lot of haters as well.
Yeah.
And people that just try to, bring you down and talk smack. And it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Don't worry about your own life.
Yeah, it's
don't
more
worry about others.
Anybody can talk, but I feel like the actions speak louder than words.
But if they were face to face with you, they wouldn't say nothing.
Oh yeah, it's happened. There was this luchadora. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. There was this luchadora who I'm not gonna say her name, but there was rumors. Hey, did you hear that this luchadora? She wants to beat you up and she doesn't like it, whatever. So then I run into her in Denver. We were on a show, and I was gonna wrestle her. So before we even did anything for the lucha show, I said, hey, can I pull you aside? Yes. I heard that you're, this and this and this. Well, I'm right here. She goes, of course not.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course not. I would never say anything like that. You know how I am. It's not intentionally, it's not personal. I adore you. I like you a lot, Dulce. And it's just like, it's happened. It's happened.
There's a lot of fake people out there.
There's a lot of fake people. Exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
When you confront people or whatever situations, it's always 9 times out of 10, it's not what it is. I appreciate you taking the time to come down and jump on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
September 27th. Doors open.
We have the flyer over there. Do you mind bringing it up over here?
Yeah,
so we can show it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we can show it. Awesome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right.
Look at that.
Here we are.
Yep.
Where
September
are you at?
27th.
Where are you at?
I'm right over here. Right here.
Oh, there you are.
Yep.
You look scary.
We got the Rhinos logo right there.
Oh, you got the rhinos on there too. Look at that.
Yeah.
Hey, now we're something.
Yeah.
Hey, we made it. We made it onto your. That's awesome. So again, September 27th, Friday. Doors open at 6.
At 7.
7.
Show
First
starts
match
at
is at
8.
8.
Exactly.
Where we're going to see you and your brother do a tag team action.
Exactly.
And maybe a special guest if your brother's not pulling his weight around.
Yeah.
I might just jump in there.
Yeah, I know.
I'm only kidding.
It'd be great to have you. It'd be great to have
I think
you.
I'm gonna come.
Yeah, you are gonna be there. We're gonna have some Rhino tickets for the Lucha Libre fans, for the fans of New Era Wrestling. So we're excited. It's gonna be a great collaboration, and
100%.
I'm excited to be in this. What is it called? What is it called?
Arena.
Arena. Yeah.
Ice Arena. So again, like as
Arena.
our season gets started, we're gonna get you on. We're gonna have you be one of the guests of the games. Puck dropper, all that good thing. And,
that's awesome.
Have you and your family come out and enjoy our, our events.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. That's
Again, Dulce, thank you very, very much for jumping on, and thanks to your brothers for coming down as well, and thanks to you guys for staying tuned. And make sure you tune into her. Make sure you follow her on social media because she likes followers.
Let me tell you something. First thing he tells me when I come in
that's
here.
not true.
Hey,
now you're good.
I followed you on Instagram. Do you follow people back?
Oh, no. I did say that.
Look at him.
I did say that.
Red.
It's hot in here. It's hot in here. I did say that, but
it wasn't the first thing when I walked in.
It wasn't
here.
the first thing, and I don't get butthurt.
a lot of people, fans, even friends, they tell me, "Hey, so when are you gonna follow me back?" And it's just like, I don't worry about stuff like that. I don't worry about following people back anymore. I have 24.5K followers.
Oh, but you don't know.
And
you know the exact number.
I just looked at it when I posted our picture.
Lies,
but people come
lies.
up to me and they tell me, "Hey, why don't you follow me back on Instagram?" Or the other day was like, "Hey, I requested a friend request on Facebook and you haven't accepted." And I was like, "What are you talking about? What's your name right now?" I did it in front of his face. I said, "What's your name on Facebook?" So I search it up and it's like friend request. So I accepted and he's like, "Thank you." He's like,
"Well, there, so
thank you, Dulce.
you
That's
made
what I
him
had to do."
happy.
But I don't worry about stuff like that. And if I do follow people back on Instagram, is really close people, my friends, people that support me, people that I support.
That's good.
It's just, yeah.
And that's how it should be, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, thank you for jumping on.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We're going to see you September 27th, and we'll be back with you at some point in the season.
Yeah.
As one of the guests of the game. So stay tuned, everybody. And again, thank you for following. Thank you for watching. Until next time. Thank you.
Bye.